Hi, you guys.
How you doing?
Kelly.
I'm okay. The
Right.
film was heavy. The film was very, very heavy. Two separate questions. You, in the beginning of the film, your character is the mayor?
It's actually Congressman John Conyers.
Congressman, and you're standing on top of a car and you're asking people like, I know you're upset, I know you're angry, but please do not destroy your own homes. And you have the legal authority. And you're asking people to calm down, but in essence, it's your character and your police department that is controlling the climate that, you know, helped inspire the riots. How was it to psychologically take that on?
I think it's interesting, you know, your question is really, really interesting because we were both representing the government, the U.S. government.
Yeah.
But just on opposite sides of it. Even at the end, during the court case, you know, you see all the police officers in the court case, you know,
sitting together,
right,
showing solidarity.
When the judge comes in, all the white jury stands up, everybody stands up, and the African Americans, we stay seated. You know, it was just a very, very divided time in our nation's government at the time, and Conyers' perspective was more so from a de-escalating perspective. He wanted to make sure that everybody made it home that night. That was his mission, was don't be out here getting shot and killed because they will shoot and kill you. You know, and unfortunately at that moment in time, at that moment where we catch him, you know, the straw had already broken the camel's back and people needed to be heard. And that was the whole motive behind the rebellion is we are tired of being silent. It's time to be heard.
What do you hope your character, horrible. Sorry.
Yes.
I
Please. Yeah, lay it on. It's true.
Yes.
We can talk about that now. Yeah.
But after seeing this film, what do you hope? Do you think white moviegoers would be more empathetic to African Americans in terms of police brutality?
Look, ideally, yes. I 100%. Look, I would sort of challenge anybody that could watch this and not be affected by it. Because, I mean, the brutality and, I mean, the fact that this actually happened as well, I mean, I would like to think we've progressed to a point that, you know, we are going to be motivated to, you know, like, and I just mean we collectively as an audience, irrespective of race, creed, culture, anything. I mean, you know, these are war crimes, effectively, you know. I mean, so look, I would really like to see white audiences seeing this film, to start with, and walking out wanting to do something about how uncomfortable they feel. And also taking on a little bit of responsibility, because it has been, I mean, it's that, I can't remember the exact quote, but it's like, evil thrives when good men do nothing. And just standing by and letting this shit happen, as it has been for 50 years. I mean, it's still happening, you know. It'd be nice to see some change, and maybe it doesn't come from within, it comes from without. I don't know where it comes from. We don't have an answer, but, you know,
it's definitely not
it,
going to come from ignoring it.
It's ignoring it is definitely not a solution. So putting this directly in the faces of people, you know, with Catherine as the director helming it, you know, an Oscar winner, it will get a bigger audience, which is fantastic. And we can, I don't know, maybe get that story out there and hopefully get some movement.
There's no silver lining at the end of this film. And if you are a person of color in this country, depending on the day of the week and whoever was unarmed and shot by police officers in an acquittal, this stings even more. This stings even more. But so why should we know? In this one instance, it's ignorance is bliss. Why should we disrupt that bliss?
I think that there is no bliss. You know, if it weren't happening anymore, then there would be bliss. But the fact that it still is happening, I think being able to connect it to our past shows that there is a systemic issue that's bigger than just one officer who might have been afraid and made a mistake. It's not that. That's a narrative. But what films like this show is that there is a systemic problem that needs to, it's a bigger conversation that needs to happen that currently isn't happening.
Yeah.
And we're hoping that this helps stimulate that.
And you've said as well, this is very different. This encourages empathy. We get to meet these people. We get to meet everybody long before the acts of atrocity happen.
Right.
So we familiarize ourselves with them, we humanize them, we become, like you said earlier, they're not a mugshot, you know.
Right.
They're not a 30-second video, you know, that's played on the news. We get to know these people, as sons, daughters, fathers, And then when this happens, we have an emotional and a psychological investment. We have stakes in, you know, we have a horse in this race. And I think it would be fantastic to sort of broaden the empathy, I guess, across everything.